It's something where has a flex that Medicare has the flexibility to meet this moment. For seniors, when we remember that seniors with underlying health conditions are the most vulnerable to serious outcomes from the coronavirus, but we'll get through this using the full weight of the federal government and the full strength of the American economy.
John, I think it's a very fair question, though, and it's something we're really going to look at because it doesn't seem fair. If you have it, you have a big advantage, and at a certain income level you do. I think it's one of the greatest answers I've ever heard, because Mike was able to speak for 5 minutes and not even touch your question. No, I said that's what you call a great professional.
Wow, Mike did a great job of not talking too long about the massive healthcare crisis in this country while we go through a pandemic.
You, man, Jesus.
Fuck you.
They'll take a goddamn mile.
Let's remember that this is like literally what, 1 day or 48 hours after everyone was given their Trump is acting presidential and realizing the seriousness of this moment.
I think I muted
again.
That. I missed that.
I love that people
were doing
still.
that
I missed
yesterday.
that. I missed that too.
Yeah, they're like, he is sober in this moment of history. Like,
that is so infuriating. Oh my!
I also love like his version of sober is like being like, yeah, a lot of people are gonna die, and that's a big bummer. Yeah. Like that. Like I know what they're talking about. It's like he occasionally gets on. He's just like, but we're looking at it, and yeah, I mean, people got colds, super bad.
We're looking at it strongly. we're looking at one proposal that Pelosi said might be a good idea. We're actually going to look at that strongly, and everyone's like, "Oh, look at him! He said people should wash their hands."
Exactly.
Fucking Dana Bash, get your tongue off of the boot. Come on.
It's embarrassing. It's not even. It's just their own psychological needs. As Harvey K pointed out earlier, I mean, this is going to start to ripple through the country, and we already have first of all, we have the comparative study of basically everywhere else in the world handling this better. South Korea, Denmark, South Africa has actually started to put forward some pretty significant steps. The Ramaphosa government, Spain, and the UK and the US are really gutting themselves, but now probably the UK is a bit ahead of the US in the last couple of days, although still really bad because we have the most sort of pure capitalist models.
There's something so bad about Anglo-American culture too. You guys see those videos of chavs down at the pub?
No.
They're not afraid of the Rona. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, of course not. So, of course not. So basically though, this is going to, rip through, it is ripping through New York. California and Washington Inslee and Newsom have handled it better than Cuomo. And it's probably going to hit the South pretty hard in like the near future, right? Like even if it starts to slightly even out at a crisis level here, we have not seen any preparatory strategy, particularly in Florida. People talk about the DeSantis failure, but he has. We have a stream issue.
Yeah, just finish this clip, and we'll have to talk about it later. But let's just finish this clip. All
right, we'll finish this clip, and then okay. All right, but he's got a contender. The governor of Georgia wants to show you that the governor of Florida is not the absolutely biggest fucking moron in the country. He is the absolute biggest fucking moron in the country. This is Georgia Governor Brian Kemp.
I think it's the reason I'm taking this action. Just like I've continued to tell people, I'm following the data, I'm following the advice of Dr. Toomey. Her and I both mentioned in our remarks, finding out that this virus is now transmitting before people see signs. So what we've been telling people from directives from the CDC for weeks now, that if you start feeling bad, stay home. Those individuals could have been infecting people before they ever felt bad. Well, we didn't know that until the last 24 hours. And as Dr. Toomey told me, she goes, this is a game changer for us. And I've been listening to her advice.
I will admit I think there were people in for sure in this part of the business who got to Corona. I think I was standard, right? Like not too far ahead at all and not too far behind in terms of talking about it. I have known, and I'm sure everybody has known talking here, that the CDC immediately said, you could have this for 2 weeks and not have any symptoms. Correct?
Yes.
Everybody knew that.
Yeah, that's like one of the main facts that they put in every article about the virus.
Yeah.
Every article about the virus has said you can contract it, you can walk around for 2 weeks feeling fine, and then get the symptoms. The governor of Georgia, with apparently Dave Letterman behind him, just said that.
I thought I felt the same way about that, actually.
Just said that it's a game changer to know that you might not get it without that you might not have symptoms and get it. Anyways, folks, it looks like our stream is down.